What's up everybody, Zero Ice here, Call of Duty Black Ops. This is the veteran guide walkthrough. This right here is Vorkuta. This is the second mission, because that's how you say it, Vorkuta. It's when you're escaping from the prison. You have to do a little cinematic cutscene type thing, run up the hill, knife those two guards so they don't come hit you in the back. And after a long little elevator chase away scene, I just showed that to show you that you need to get the gun that's off of that guard. This is just after Reznov opens up the gate and you watch a whole bunch of people die. The trick to this little part is you got to stay behind this coal cart. You really need to stay about 5 meters away from the back of Sergey and Reznov. Any farther back and the big turret machine gun up there will start to shoot you, and that's never fun. So there's 2 guys on the left as soon as you start. 2 guys on the right come out of the little cliff, or the little hallway. I don't know why I said cliff. 2 guys on the left again, and then just past this big old beam right here on the right, there are 2 guys back here. 1 guy's right here, and 1 guy you can see climbing down the ladder. Once again, the AI is very good about calling out where people are. Reznov says flanking on the left, flanking on the right, look out on the left. So it's pretty obvious where people are. You just gotta look for the people shooting at you, and that's when you know which one's the hit. Because it is veteran, you are allowed to shoot the non-named prisoners. And I would like to dedicate this video to the 2 prisoners that I shoot here in a little while in the head, because I don't know that they're not the Russian dudes that I'm trying to shoot. Apologies to that AI people. At the very end of this, before you finish, as you can see, there are 2 guys on both the left and the right. I take out the guys out on the right and then immediately switch to the left, and I kind of use Reznov as a little meat shield there so that I don't get hit. There's no guys in between the end of that and this little section. You just run up to the top of this building and you get a slingshot, and you're supposed to slingshot and hit these 3 targets. If you get all 3 of these targets in 1 shot each, 3 shots total, you get an achievement. And that second shot was to show you that you have to hold the little thing back far enough and long enough to actually see it light on fire. If not, it's essentially a dud. Pretty sure this one shouldn't really hit the target, but it does. It should be aimed a little higher than that. But if you want to take the angles of the shots that actually hit and just watch through and see where those hit, you should be able to get your achievement for this little part. I didn't really do this too well to show you how to do it efficiently, but I do end up getting the job done. Once you're done with that, you just run back down, you get a shotgun that's laying on the ground, and it's pretty simple. Here's where the rest of the level gets pretty gay. It sucks pretty hard. There's a lot of guys, a lot of AK-47s, and a lot of people that want to shoot you. As you can see, I just shot that prisoner there, and another guy's about to take his spot, and I end up shooting him again. That kind of sucks. If you turn this corner, you go this first way. You can go this way, or you can go past this little section to the next little alleyway. Takes you to the same place. I usually find out that all the guards are shooting in the other alleyway though, so I come down to this first little one. 2 guards in the main courtyard. Make sure you shoot the guy that's up top. One of the guys you shot, I go ahead and pick up the AK-47 because you're going to get some long range here in a second. You will run out of pistol ammo more than likely, and the AK can just put more shots into people than the pistol can. I usually blow up this truck because there's a couple of guys waiting on the other side of this building for you, that if you don't blow it up, you're more than likely going to get shot, and that's no fun. Once again, you can go left or right. I went left a couple of times. There's a couple little nooks and crannies that you can't always look at and shoot before you get up to them, and I find out that I die more often than not. So I decided to go to the right side. Hey, Cal just scored against Oregon. Sweet. Pretty much just shoot people. They like to come out of that little right side hallway. One thing I will mention about Call of Duty games, if you don't know this, when you play on veteran, or really any difficulty, it's not like Halo and there's not a set number of enemies. Enemies will infinitely respawn if you don't press forward. So kill some guys, throw a grenade, create a distraction, and then move up to the next little cranny, and then move up and do it in that way. You're going to see that in the next video in Executive Orders. That video and that level is AIDS, and it only gets worse when you play the SOG level and you have to go to Kazan in Vietnam. As you can see right there with the helicopter, basically just time your shots. He fires in 3-shot bursts. When you see one and the 3rd shot go out, pop out, shoot him, and then duck back in. Should have no problem with the helicopter there. This is just after that part. You get inside of the building. This part kind of sucks because you can see two barricades come up with two guys behind each one of them. I like to cook a grenade and hock it in between there and try and kill as many as I can. I think I pick up two. It kind of disperses the other ones out from behind it. Pick them off really easily with a shotgun. Fortunately, if we're hiding where I'm hiding right now behind Reznov, you can't really shoot the left side too much. But I try and take as many as I can out on the right side, and the AI does a good job of shooting the left side. Either staircase leads you to the same place. Up the stairs, there's more chaos going on with a lot more soldiers. Use these little tables as cover. Obviously, you don't want to peek your head too much. The best thing to do is, if you can wait a little longer, I believe some prisoners come up. Use them as meat shields. If at all costs, in any situation, when you're running down a hallway, and there are lots of hallways where the game tries to funnel you into one direction, never go in first. Either allow the random NPCs or the other named NPCs, Reznov, Woods, Bowman, allow them to always go first if you can help it, and use them as meat shields. They can't die, you can, and the checkpoints in this game are far and few between when you actually need them. So don't be the first one in. Sergey gets caught on the door, just burst in here real fast and push the button. There are a lot of guys up on the top railway. Take them out with the shotgun. And Reznov tells you to go upstairs, so quickly follow him. Generally, when the NPCs tell you to go somewhere and they start moving, you should follow them immediately if you're not engaged in direct contact, because that's usually the game telling you, hey, you have a little open window that you need to go run and get somewhere. If you lag behind or go too early, that's when everybody's shooting at you. So try and follow the NPCs directly right behind them when they tell you to go somewhere, and you usually will evade a lot of unnecessary combat and or deaths. This next little part, Reznov rather, is going to pick up a little arc welder so you can open up the door and get you a death machine, which is pretty fun. But when that happens, you kind of get busted up by these juggernauts. Juggernauts are fairly simple. They only take two shotgun blasts to the chest, rather, and I think if you hit them in the head, it only takes one. Unfortunately, they can kill you in one hit if they hit you directly, so don't let that happen. There are three that come through this door, but I find out that the guy NPC on the right over there usually takes the middle one out, so you don't have to, but bear in mind there are three that come out if he gets killed. Two guys on the roof as you come out, as well as two guys on this little walkway. They killed me many times. I advise you to use the shotgun there and try and get both of them with one blast, because the AK usually won't do the job fast enough before you die. This is quite convenient that they have this little barricade right here with a door that's perfectly head level with anything coming down this little walkway. It's pretty sweet, because in a second through that little door it's going to be about 6 to 7 juggernauts that run through one at a time. And between that and 2 or 3 guys that come up the stairs in little waves, you can get kind of overwhelmed if you're not careful about it. It's actually quite simple in this part. The only difficult time is, you can see, when you have to reload, it sucks. So usually what I do is wait for the regular enemies to come up the stairs and a juggernaut, and when everything is dead, I quickly reload. I try and never get down past about 5, maybe 4 shells if something goes really chaotic. That doesn't actually happen. At one point I kind of get overrun and I ended up dying right as Reznov opens up the door, but because of the magical world of editing, you guys don't get to see me die. As you can see, it said objective completed. I don't notice it. I can run through the door right now, but because I'm too busy shooting juggernauts and worrying about reloading, I don't even pay attention to it. So really I could be running through the door right now, which I suggest because the enemy waves actually become faster and more things start spawning the longer you hesitate right here. So as soon as you see objective complete, you should really turn around and run. But I've been drinking at this point, so I was not too worried about running. As you can see, you quickly get overwhelmed when you don't have any ammo, and it just sucks. So you run through here. I switch out my shotgun for the death machine because the AK is much more useful when you run out of ammo with a death machine. When you get it, immediately turn around and shoot down the hallway that you came through with the blowtorch. There's 2 juggernauts and a regular enemy down there, and they will turn around, or when you get past, they will run behind you and melee you and or shotgun you. Another guy hits me, I have no idea where that guy came from. So your guess is as good as mine. Sometimes you'll have another juggernaut or 2 that run out of the doorway to your right now, but it didn't happen that way. I guess I killed enough of them when I wasn't paying attention to the objective earlier. My suggestion is to sit up here and blow this truck up, as well as the truck that's coming. Just be careful of that little overhang. As you can see, there's a lot of guys up there. Pay attention to that. I actually lag up here for a little while and wait, because there's another truck coming, this one right here. You blow that one up, you create a nice little barricade of flames and smoke and not enemies between you and that little bridge. Pick off a few if you want, or you can go ahead and jump down and go to the left, which I do here in a second. I don't suggest actually sitting up here, because you waste a lot more bullets in comparison to your amount of kills that you're getting, and I run out of the death machine a little earlier than I wanted to towards the end, had to pull out the AK. That kind of sucked. So my suggestion is, why don't you kill both of the all three of the vehicles when it's still kind of smoky and fiery? Go ahead and jump down. That creates a little confusion for all the enemies. And I have noticed that they do pay attention to smoke, and that if it's smoking or firing, they won't shoot at you or as accurately at you. So go ahead and do that, as well as if you just have grenades, throw grenades. Just create a distraction so that you can get from point A to point B without dying. I usually stay to the left side of the wall. There are guys on the second floor in the windows of buildings. This building on the right, as well as when you turn the corner, the building in front of you, the guy has an RPG, so be careful of that. And then when you go around the corner again, up there on the left, another truck comes, as well as a whole bunch of guys in the little rafters, second floor windows. Don't think any of them have RPGs, but they're pretty accurate with their AKs, so just be careful of that. I would wait right here if the truck hasn't come. If you happen to do this faster than I do, I would wait, because I believe that truck has an M16 on the back of it, or a machine gun on the back of it rather, and it'll kill you. Be careful. As you can see, there's a little walkway as well as his little rubble on the ground. I got stuck on that and died, as you saw the cut earlier. So make sure you weave your way through there without dying, if you can so help it. At the end here, this is where you want to keep a lot of your death machine ammo, because there are three or four trucks that you can easily shoot and kill all the guys in this little area, and you don't have to sit here with your AK and pick them all off. So if you can keep your death machine ammo, go ahead and do that. If not, it's only a couple of guys, and a lot of the prisoners in Reznov will pick them off for the ones that you can't see. Like I said, the AI is really good at, you give them a target to shoot at, and they'll kill most things in that area. After a little cutscene with some tear gas, you get to ride on a motorcycle. Right trigger goes, left trigger fires. I weave back and forth a lot. For me at least, it was quite difficult to drive this thing, and it's more difficult to aim it. But as long as you're in a general vicinity of the people that you're trying to shoot, your shotgun is going to hit them 100% of the time. So as long as you're not 45 degrees off of your target, you're going to hit them. The turning radius is kind of shitty. You do actually have to let go of right trigger of the gas and to make a tighter turn. But all in all, this part is not really that difficult. You see I'm barely getting hit. Hardly anything comes in front of you. I think there's a truck, there's a couple of motorcycles. It's pretty cake though. The most difficult part about this is making sure you shoot the guy off with the 50 cal before he hits you, and then you have to drive up along this side of the truck. You can't climb up the other side, or at least I couldn't. I could have just been doing it wrong though. I've also found it's pretty difficult to die on this part too, just as long as you take out the vehicles. The motorcycle guys really don't fuck with you all that bad, but the guys on the back of the trucks, they hit you a lot. I don't even pay attention to the guys with RPGs on the bridge. You're moving too fast for them to hit you anyway. So 3 trucks, and I believe there's 5 motorcycles in total. It's not really all that difficult. And then a train comes, and Reznov tells you to jump. And I cut the little video in a cliffhanger. Do you make it, or do you not make it? Only time will tell.